All right, welcome back to Leaders in Next. Today we are joined by a player who's made the bold move, trading in the West Coast glamour for the Big Ten grind. After putting in work at Cal Poly, he's now suiting up for the school that he grew up not liking, even though they won more college football games than any other program in the history of college football. And we're talking about none other than the University of Michigan. We're going to talk about his transition from Cal Poly to Michigan, what it takes to kind of level up, and what lies ahead as he steps on the field at the Big House for the first time in August. We're looking forward to it, Brady. Welcome to the podcast.
I appreciate a lot here.
Well, so we're going to start with one overarching question, then we're going to dive into more details. But you're brand new to the program. A lot of people aren't familiar with you. What is the number one thing you want Michigan fans to know about you?
Well, first off, I just want to say for the Michigan fans out there for letting me into their home. You know what I mean? Like, this is their place. Ann Arbor is their home. I'm some West Coast Cali boy, and they gave me open arms, and I ran straight here. So I just want to appreciate them for that. A thing for them to know is that I'm all in for this. The reason why I came to Michigan is to play football. They got me. They had me here. I'm gonna grind as hard as I can, be the best me I can be, and play some football. So yeah.
Well, we're excited. Yeah.
You crushed it at Cal Poly. 11 starts, 15 games. You were a freshman All-American at the FCS level. Just why do you think, maybe compared to other players that are now at Michigan, relatively, like what do you think it was that made you fly under the radar, maybe as a high school recruit?
Definitely size-wise, I did go to a very good high school, Mission Viejo High School out of California. They're actually, I just saw this morning, they're ranked like 14th in the nation preseason. So I came from a really big high school, went against really good competition. I would say it's my size-wise. Out of high school, I'd probably play at like 6'3", 250. Obviously I'm not no 6'6", 320, 5-star big guy. I was a little undersized. I was a smaller guy, and I was playing at a position where they prefer guys to be a lot taller, a lot lengthier, and I didn't really have that. But I still came from a high school where we played the top competition in California, so I was able to get some type of looks. But I did the whole spiel. I went to camps. I try to get as much attention. There was a time where me and my dad would sit down and email and text on Twitter and just email coaches from all over the nation over and over and over again just to get something, you know what I mean? But I'd say it was a size-wise maybe, because I went to a high school that was really well known, but I guess I just flew under the radar. But, that's just what helps drive me. So.
But curious, did you what other offers were you contemplating other than Cal Poly?
My top three were Cal Poly, SLO, San Luis Obispo, Eastern Washington up I think near Spokane, and then another big one was Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa was another big one. And those are like my top three. I didn't have any FBS offers. My coach said I could have if I wanted to walk on. I said no to walk-ons because I needed some type of scholarship, some type of thing. For me, I did not want to. I have a lot of respect for all the walk-ons, man. What they do is just crazy. But I just didn't want no walk-ons. I just had a bunch of FCS offers and some D2s.
Now, Eastern Washington, I believe, has a red football field.
They do, yes.
Is that a pro or a con in their decision? Obviously, didn't end up there, but were you a red field guy?
It was cool. It's
really?
There's only like 3 stadiums around the world, around the nation. College football have a different college stadium. I think it's them, Boise State, and maybe someone else. But I thought it was kind of cool. It's not like their typical stadium. I ended up not going there, but I ended up playing them my first year at Eastern Washington at Cal Poly. So I got to re-see the field one more time. But I thought it was kind of cool, but I never liked the school that much.
Yeah. Well, so when did you – obviously we talked about your 11 starts. Now you give up 0 sacks, and you're rated the highest you're the highest graded offensive lineman by PFF. In your Cal Poly career, when did you start to figure out that, based on your performance on the field, that you maybe had another chapter or there was going to be, a lot of pursuit for you as a transfer? Was that happening kind of early in your freshman, kind of when did that kick in for you that might be your next step?
I didn't know, like, it popped in my head. I know my freshman year, honestly think I should have maybe started as a true freshman. It's just I was like 250. I was light. So, you know what I mean? It's just really hard to start someone who's that light because they can just get hurt. But I want to say probably halfway through my second year there, my redshirt freshman year there, you know what I mean? I ended up getting like a couple posts, and like a bunch of agencies will hit you up when you come from a small school, and that's kind of weird like that. I had probably over 25 agencies hit me up, been like, hey, like you're a baller, like we need you to get like, but I kind of realized that like my dad pulled up, like, hey, you haven't given up a sack in 8 games. And I'm like, dang, I didn't realize that. And I kind of thought about it, and I looked, and I was like, I'm projected to be like a freshman All-American. I'm like, oh, sick. I'm like, does this mean I can possibly, try at the next level, try at the transfer portal? The transfer portal was already a really big thing when this was happening, everything. So that's kind of when the light bulb went off. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I loved Cal Poly, I loved everything about it, but I think it's, I got work to maybe try to get out and try to get myself a better opportunity.
Before we forget, and it seems almost rude to ask people how much they weigh, but offensive lineman, it seems to be the most important question I've seen you get at, and people ask about you. So you were 250-ish or so, out of high school, and 6'3". It sounds like, unless we're puffing up the numbers in the press, it sounds like you've grown taller and you've gained some weight. Is that
roughly? I don't know how height-wise. I want to say I'm 6'4". I think I'm right at 6'4", maybe close to 6'5". And I'm like 318 right now. I put on some really good weight. I put on weight I'm really proud of right now. You know what I mean? I still move really well. I still move like I kind of feel like I'm 280, you know what I mean? Because I played 280 at Cal Poly. So the weight feels really good. But around 218, 6'4", 28, or 318.
When reporters or whomever ask you that question, how bad do you want to turn it back around on them? Like, I don't know how much do you weigh, man? I
don't know. They ask me that a lot, and I always see on like social media. He's like, "Oh, this kid's only 280. Oh my god, we're done for." Like, I'm like, dude, like, I'll gain the weight, man. Like, come on.
So I think most amateurs know how to gain weight. But what did you leverage? The nutrition program at Michigan, or was this something you were just able to do on your own?
The nutrition program at Michigan was definitely a big help. At my old school, we were not given 3 meals a day at all. Like, it was really hard to get our meals in. And like, we're getting a meal card on campus at my old school, and the best things are like Chick-fil-A and Panda, stuff that wasn't really good for your body. I mean, here having the buffet, having all the meals a day, not only that, but having like, we have a fridge full of snacks, and Abigail, she's awesome. Like, she's helped me with everything, our nutritionist. And a cheat code I had when it came to getting weight is I would drink a gallon of milk a day. It sounds a little gross, but I drink a gallon of milk.
Is it chocolate milk?
Be proud.
No, not whole milk. Just straight whole milk was my thing. I drink it like I got my gallon right here, water. Instead of that, it'd just be milk. So like it was a little gross, but I did what I had to do to put on the weight.
You got to get you got to get an NIL deal with some of the milk producers.
Yeah, I would love a milk brand NIL deal. I would.
Got milk. We got somebody's got to work on that. We'll talk to Champion Circle, see if they can.
Now how long would it take you to put down the gallon of milk? We talking like it was done by noon, or were you kind of spaced? Because I just imagine you don't want your milk to get warm. You're gonna have to.
No, it would be probably a 45-minute span. I'd have it in the fridge ready. I'd sit at my desk or I'd start doing homework, and I'd just slowly sip, and it wasn't.
Oh, man.
Was this done in public? Because it's a power move to bring a full jug of milk into public.
I never did it in public. No, it was like my nighttime routine. It was like my midnight snack kind of. That was what I did. I drank at night.
So you crushed it at Cal Poly, right? And we've talked to some other players who said when they were at a smaller school and killing it, they received kind of quote unquote pressure from various people to enter the portal, to move up into a bigger school. You mentioned these agencies. Did anyone, and we're not looking for names, but did people come to you and say, "Hey, man, you need to level up. You're really good," or was that something you just decided on your own with your dad, maybe talking about?
It was kind of decided on my own. It was always a dream to play at the FBS level. Obviously, these agencies you can, but in my mind, I'm like, I wasn't being pressured to, but in my mind, I kind of was thinking can I? I don't want to hit the portal and not get any offers, and boom, I'm stuck back at home at the JUCO. You know what I mean? It's a scary feeling, it's like I'm going to land at home. But once I once I realized I could, I set my heart and my hopes straight on it. Like I needed to play at the next level. I wanted to play at a national level, and the more eyes and the better competition, the better I'll get, the better chance to play on Sundays.
Is there a way to put feelers out, like before you officially launch in the portal? Now you got these agents, but their motivations are maybe a little different, a little weird.
Yeah.
Before you did it, were you able to kind of get any feelers out there from other people so that you can kind of get a sense of, okay, I'm not going to end up in JUCO. Like I'm gonna get some traction. Just tell us about that.
Honestly, it was the first day the portal opened. My old head coach, I called him the day after our final game. I felt like, out of the most due respect, I call him right away so he can plan. Like, hey, he's not going to be here next season. He won't be here. So I called my coach. The second I called my coach, I ended up signing with the agency because I was scared. You know what I mean? I'm like, I need whatever help I can get. You know what I mean? They ended up putting out saying like I'm officially in the transfer portal. And I was scared because I'm like, I officially just broke up my old team. I'm now homeless, basically, And then the second they put it out, I probably got 150 follows from just coaches around the nation. Probably spent 5 minutes. So I was like, I knew, I was like, okay, I didn't realize it was this big, but it definitely.
So walk us through your process. So now you got 150 guys following you. Doesn't mean that 150 people want to take you, but I mean, it's a pretty good sign that they're interested in you. How did you go about the process of narrowing it down? And then we'll talk eventually about how you chose Michigan. But how did you narrow it down?
Yeah. So number one, I knew I can get the power four. So I kind of want to narrow down the power four. Didn't really fully care about like what conference. I didn't really care that much about location, but I really cared about number one, different type of offenses. You know what I mean? Two, and how much the coaches were like active. Some people have like their assistant offensive line coach hit me up, but some teams will have their head coach, their offensive line coach, their OC hit me up. That's just a big difference to me. Some coaches wouldn't respond at all, and some coaches would respond in a heartbeat, making sure they're on. So you can tell what teams wanted me and what teams are like, hey, if we can get you, like that'd be cool, but we don't have a full plan. Like the plan for me was the most important. So just got to there. Michigan wasn't even on my full radar coming out of it. My top three, I want to say, were Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, and Syracuse were my top three. So I was thinking, in my mind, I'm heading to the ACC. And then, that was kind of the way I kind of narrowed it down.
Does Coach Moore, being an offensive lineman himself, or maybe any head coach, do you think is that like a pro or a con, you think? Because like in some ways it's like, hey, the head coach is an offensive lineman. He gets it. He values it. In other cases, it's like, hey, is this guy gonna like pull me aside and start,
Yeah.
You got too many cooks. And I'm not just singling out Sharon, but just in general, like is a head coach offensive lineman, ex-offensive lineman, you think a good or a did you shy towards that or away from it, you think?
It's definitely a pro. Because obviously with the offense and the mindset, his mindset is around the offensive line. You know what I mean? Obviously he could be a lot harder on us, which is a good thing. And but it's definitely a pro when it comes to development and just like someone who understands the room,
Yeah.
So, you visited Michigan. You visited Michigan right before you committed.
Correct.
You must have visited in the winter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a California kid, and I've lived in California twice in my life, but I grew up in the Midwest, so I'm familiar with seasons and cold. Other than going to Big Bear Mountain, maybe in California, what was that a little bit of a shock to the system?
Yeah, I've never seen snowfall in my life. So
you've never seen snowfall?
Not until my visit to Michigan. I've never seen snowfall in my life. So I got there and I was me and my family were struggling a little bit in the weather, but in my mind I was like, it's only like 2 to 3 months out of the year, and for me, like, snow is cool to me. I'm brand new to snow. Exactly. You guys grew up in the Midwest, but I'm like a kid on Christmas. Like, this is an actual like thing for me. So I was like, I enjoyed it. It was cold, but yeah, it was
some of our greatest memories at Michigan are in the snow in the big house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dan and I, the 2021 game against Ohio State where it starts snowing and it was it's fun. So I think you'll enjoy it. And you offensive linemen, you guys will come out in like it'll be -20 and you'll be out in like t-shirts warming up, looking all tough. So that's cool.
Who visited you on your visit?
Just Newsom. Most of them visit on one of like Because a lot of during that time, it was I visited just right after or just before I want to say bowl prep.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys, when I came, a lot of guys were just gone. You know, I mean, they had a little time off. They went home, I think. So it was just new some.
So I've read that, and obviously when people grow up, they can change their mind, but you grew up not liking Michigan. You apparently liked UCLA and Notre Dame. UCLA, I don't think we can really hate on as Michigan fans. They're kind of, but I mean, Notre Dame, that's a tough one. First of all, why did you grow up not liking Michigan?
I grew up more of a Notre Dame fan. I followed my dad's lead, and my dad never really went there. I don't know what his connection was to Notre Dame. Maybe because he was Irish, so he's like the Fighting Irish. He's like, sounds cool to me. So
Okay.
I ended up just liking them. And obviously, as a little kid, I'm trying to bond my dad with football. So man, I hate Michigan. Like, I hate those guys. Like, all those. And I'm like, as a little kid, like, yeah, I hate those guys too. So it's just like growing up, like, you just kind of like have that little disgust feeling, kind of the same like Michigan and USC growing up was like my two like teams I disliked,
That's fair. I mean, okay. I mean, we get it. And look, we're gonna no harm, no foul. We're gonna accept you,
And
despite
Notre Dame is
that.
like a different rivalry from schools like we don't play them anymore. First of all, but a little different than Ohio State, which is like I wouldn't say there's like nasty bad blood, just.
I think logical Michigan fans will at least say good things about Notre Dame as an institution, an academic institution, things like that. I don't think the same can be said for our views on Ohio State. And speaking of Ohio State, walk us through. You've got that famous little quote that you got. So walk us through the Ohio State offer when it came in, and how that transpired.
Yeah, so it's my last day at Cal Poly, and I'm sitting in like some like little diner, and like one of my favorite diners there. It's called like Luis's Place or something. I'm getting like a cinnamon roll. I'm chilling there. I'm eating my breakfast, and it's my last day. All my friends are gone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I got them out, and I'm just kind of soaking it in my last day at Poly. And I get a text from Coach Fry, who was this. I don't think he's there no more, but he was the offensive line coach at Ohio State.
Right.
And he just texted me saying like, "Hey, like interested? Please send me your phone number, email, and everything." And I sent him everything, and after that, just nothing. Text him again, nothing at all. Just no text. Like I'm like, okay, cool. Like that's awesome. Just text me, and I'm like, what? They're like honestly the only school to really do that. All other schools are still pretty on me. And then I get a text from him while I'm in the hotel room of my visit to Michigan, like the night before I'm supposed to see everything. I get a text from him like, "Hey, call me," and I call him, and he gives me the offer and everything like that. And then I'm like, cool. I'm kind of thinking, it's like, this guy hasn't texted me that much. He hasn't really been on me. And all of a sudden, like, I post like, "Hey, I'm visiting Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm visiting Ann Arbor." And all of a sudden, "Hey, call me." You know what I mean? So I'm like,
oh, so you put together pretty quickly. He's
I put
only
it
calling
together
you because he knows you're in Ann Arbor.
yeah. So I put it together pretty quick. I like look at my dad. I'm like, dude, like, one, if we go visit, like, the facilities are gonna be the exact same thing but red, and two, like, I just don't think they have a plan for me like Michigan does, So like, put the pieces together pretty quick, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Now, after they reached out, you had. It sounds like you were in Schembechler. I think the background, you were in Schembechler Hall doing some kind of interview or something like that, and you made a comment, kind of F those guys, which is gone down. It's famous in Michigan history lore already.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm just curious, after you said that, what kind of reaction did you get? Well, the fans probably think this is the greatest thing ever. This guy gets it, right? Like, because we all say the same thing, right? F those guys. But I'm wondering, like, did Dave Abloff or somebody from the media thing say, "Hey, man, maybe next time you don't say that"? Or did you get any kind of coaching after the
fact? He said a good job. He was like, next time I wouldn't, curse, obviously. Honestly, it just slipped out because I just had a little bit of feeling like that. My teammates made fun of me and climbed me a little bit, you know what I mean? But like at that moment, because obviously I had like a couple press conferences at Cal Poly, and I kind of usually said what I wanted. It never blew up because it's, I'm not at a big school, but I didn't realize the power that, the media at Michigan had from me saying a lowly little word. And I wasn't saying it like directly. I was like, oh, they didn't really want me like that. F those guys, it's like whatever. And I think people made a huge deal about it, but it's all in good fun. It's like the teammates are making fun of me, but it's all good fun.
It is so funny because I hate to break the news to those people that got like upset about it. You should try just walking around what regular fans say. It's makes it like a child.
Yeah, I'm sure much worse was said on the field to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So just you show up as a new guy. I mean, new guys can be kind of tough. I'm just curious. Did you know anybody else in the program when you committed, like from camps or anything?
No, I had like an idea. Like Cam Brent, I played him in high school. He played at Sierra Canyon. I played in my senior year. He's same class as me. Jeff Percy, he's gone at Pitt now, but he's from Mission Viejo. Okay, maybe something I can connect with. And he kind of left, but no, I kind of went in looking around, like don't know anybody, whole new place. I'm states away from home. You know what I mean? It's a little tough, but it took me about a week. The O-line room is the best guys in the world. Those guys are some of my favorite people I'll ever meet ever. They knew how to make me laugh, and like just getting that bond together with them, man, it really just made me feel like it was home. Like, it was tough the first week, and then after that, it was great.
That's awesome. I mean, tell us more. So it takes you come in. Actually, by the way, what was the scouting report on Cam in high school? Cam's a guest of ours.
He was damn good. He was gonna be like, they were telling us that he was going to be one of the better defensive ends that I go against. Obviously 4-star. I don't think he was committed at the time to Michigan, but he was like 4-star, really good defensive end. And the thing is, I didn't go against him. He stayed on my right tackle side the whole time. So I thought it was kind of funny. But I asked him about it the other day. I'm like, do you remember me playing me? He's like, not really, because I played left tackle. He won't sit on the right side the whole time. But the scouting report was saying, like, yeah, he's their best defensive player.
Maybe. Have you guys faced off in practice yet?
We have a lot, yeah. I faced off against. When I played tackle, when I was playing tackle, I faced off with him against a lot. He's pretty good. He's same year as me. He's pretty damn good.
So
well, it's good.
Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of hard to find California guys on the roster. I think. Let's see now. We got Zeke Berry, NorCal guy. So, and then you got Cam from Sierra Canyon. You got Zach Marshall from down in San Diego, and then Davis from Southern Cal. And then I think Nico Andrighetto is another Cali guy. And I think that's it other than you.
Yeah. If I'm correct, there's only about 5, maybe 6 of us.
Yeah. Yeah. So
not a low number, but I thought there'd be a few more. But.
Yeah. Just curious. So you moved here kind of mid-year, so to speak. Did you have your own place, or they room you up with somebody?
They put me in like this like little apartment thing called Vic Village, right down like next to campus, just like keep me close.
Yep.
I was there for probably 3 months, and I moved out to an apartment complex kind of the stadium that I like a lot more. I got a good parking spot for my car, and then I live by myself in like a nice little 2-bedroom. Keep a guest room for my parents. So when they obviously flights aren't cheap from California to Michigan, so when they fly up here, they got a place to stay, and I can get some home cooked meals. Yeah, that sounds
like it saves them a lot of money, because I know in Ann Arbor for game day you got to most hotels you got to have a 2-night stay, and it's 5. So yeah, that's helpful. So you've been here like 6-7 months. Have you learned the fight song?
Not. I'm working on it. I know honestly, I need to work on it. That's on me. I need to work on that a lot.
Okay. I mean,
I know it's the most traditional, it's the most well known. I need to work on it.
Yeah, no, just so we're not going to ask you to sing it, because that doesn't sound like you could. So we're going to stay away from that. But something to work on. Well, you mentioned earlier, kind of going up against Cam and playing tackle. When use the word when you play tackle. I know it's in the media a lot about position. I mean, interestingly, Newsome, I think in one of his interviews, he likened your tenacity and technique to former Michigan All-Big Ten lineman Mason Cole and John Runyon Jr. Both of those guys actually started as tackles and then moved inside. Cole went to center, Runyon to guard. Cole was the first Michigan offensive lineman to start in a season opener as a true freshman, and he went on to play in the pros. Runyon's in the pros. I'm just curious, you were a tackle. We read things about your versatility, which I think everyone loves. which is great because we've had guys like that can play various positions. If we had to start the season tomorrow, what position are you playing?
Good question. I know. I'm definitely somewhere inside. I think most likely left guard right now. They have me backing up Gio Alhadi right now, and they also have me playing a lot of second string center. They have me playing everywhere right now. Obviously the whole spring ball I played left and right tackle, and then I come back from our May break, and I come back in day two, the break. Or day two, us getting back. Coach was like, "Hey, you see in my office?" And he's like, "Yeah, casually, we're gonna move you inside to guard center." And I haven't played guard center since my sophomore year of high school, but I was ready for the challenge, and from there, what I'm playing, I couldn't tell you specifically. Most likely more left guard as I get used to center. You know what I mean? I'm getting a lot of my IQ up. Center takes a lot more than guard. Being able to call the points, manage the front, and obviously have the snap count and get my snaps down. So definitely left guard. I'll give you the answer to that.
Yeah, man, it's pretty impressive. As you switch like from tackle to guard in particular, tell us, like, how does practice change for you then? I know there obviously you've got different assignments in blocking, different drills, different weight, lifting regimens. Like, what changes mostly as you move from tackle into guard?
Definitely play calls. I'm used to. I memorized. Obviously, coming in, I'm a new guy. I had memorized the whole playbook, but I memorized the whole playbook at a tackle standpoint. So a lot of the plays I had to kind of beat that out of my brain and put in the new information as a guard. So obviously the times I have to pull or like the different screens, like in our screens, like the guard gets out a lot more than tackles do. So I got to like kind of flip around my minds, just play calls. And then obviously just technique. From guard to tackle, I wouldn't say it's like a crazy difference, but it's still a bit of a difference.
I think one of the advantages of center, I feel like you'll never get a false start called on you. Because there are times I swear the entire line moves, but the center doesn't snap the ball, which clearly feels like the center got it wrong.
It's still the center's fault.
They always false start everyone but the center.
But the center, yeah.
You have like amnesty somehow. So there's that. You got that going for you.
There you go. I like that.
If you could pick a spot, if you got to assign yourself a spot, where do you prefer to play?
In my heart, it's still tackle because I played tackle for so long. But like just using my brain with my size and opportunity, it would be center. So there's like a two-part answer to that. My heart says tackle, and my brain says center.
And you're saying, and from a size standpoint, you're kind of referring to your height and arm length?
I'm saying my height and arm length. Yeah, there's a big difference when it comes to that. Just having longer arms and just being taller is a big difference. But yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned kind of the step up from FCS to here. What was that? What was that like when the first time you kind of walk in with the pads? I mean, did you feel like, hey, I feel like I belong here? Or were you still having a little bit of doubt? Like, I don't know. Did I make the right decision?
There's always a little doubt in my mind. There's always a little voice in the back of your head saying, like, you can't do this. Like, you should run and quiver. But at the same time, like, it's like the motivation, like, this is really like the highest level. If I can do it at this level, I can do it anywhere else. You know what I mean? Like, coming from a smaller level, obviously, and it's scary. But just it took a couple practices of just getting used to warming up. But like, the strength difference from the FCS to the Big Ten, it wasn't like crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I think I was the strongest guy on my team, my old team, when I was a freshman, which was a little sad, but that kind of helped out when I got here. I was just on par with some of the old linemen, and I got there. I just did what I could, and I ended up doing pretty well. So I just went in there, just do what I can.
That's awesome.
Now, I know that you guys have T-shirts and a saying "Team over me" kind of thing, but I'm just curious, what are your personal goals for this season?
Obviously, I've got moved positions, so I want to get really well and get used to those positions. But obviously, get some playing time. I got experience, but I have experience in the FCS level, not at the Big Ten level. I got experience playing probably in front of 2,000 people, not 110,000 people. So it's definitely a big difference. Goals for me is obviously to start some games, you know what I mean? And if not, keep snipping at the heels of the starter. You know what I mean? I gotta do what I can to get that starting job, you know what I mean? But that's basically not my main goal right now. Obviously, I like my weight. I want to get some body fat, a little bit more body fat down. Obviously, that's always the goal. And just play my heart out.
The spring game, I think you played primarily tackle, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just going to say, thoughts on the spring game. How do you think as you look at your performance? First of all, just impressions, too. I know there wasn't 110,000 people there. I think there were probably 40. So, not the most packed. You'll see the big house, but just, impressions from the spring game and then kind of how you felt you did in terms of, relative to your goals going into that.
Yeah, 40,000 people is still a lot for me. I definitely had high emotions. I was like, dang, I didn't feel real, I'd say. Like, I'm walking out that tunnel in that maze on the maze team, which didn't lose, but
yeah,
on that maze team, just walking out on that, it was just seeing my parents in the stands. They came and flew after the game. Like, it was emotional.
Yeah.
Feeling, I honestly still now don't believe I'm on the Michigan football team. Like, it's probably not until the first game I will really feel it. But even with 40,000 people, it was crazy. My performance-wise, they threw me in at right tackle after I was playing left the whole time, so it was a little janky, I think. Definitely think I could have played better, but I thought I definitely did what I could. Obviously, I went against Derek Moore and Dominic Nichols, some two highly talented defensive ends. So I definitely think I could have done better, but at the same time, I thought I did pretty good.
Yeah. Another very serious question before we I saw you got some tattoos going. The other thing, I mean, you could definitely gain strength and add and take down some body fat. Other trick would just be build the sleeves out a bit. Go for the mental intimidation. We thinking about adding any more on?
Possibly. I got 4 pieces right now. I got my front piece right here. I have a different piece on my forearm, and I have a shoulder piece. I still have the bicep I want to get into and fill out, and then my chest. I usually use my tattoos as a symbol of my faith. I am a man of God. Not only do I believe in God, but I fear God. But that's what I use. I use kind of my faith, not honestly to intimidate opponents, but just like as a gentle reminder, that He's with me throughout the way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have a favorite piece? I mean, they're probably all your favorite in different ways.
My recent one I love. I don't know if I can kind of show it in the camera, but it's an illustration of Samson.
Oh yeah. I see it.
Kind of wrestling one of the lions.
That's pretty cool.
He's one of the strongest men in the Bible. And he has the hair too, so that's why I kind of piece it together. So I really like the illustration. The artist did a really good job. But I love all my tattoos.
Well, so now I got to ask: do you have a nickname? Where are we? Can we go with Samson, or what do we got?
Samson would be a sick nickname. That's what I plan to name my first son if I get a son. So that's.
Well, we don't take the name from your son, but let's just make it Leaders Next Official.
If you want to, I was always called. My nicknames are B or B Norton or Nortron. Nortron was one I always liked, but if you like Samson, you can call me Samson.
I like Samson.
I like Samson too. And speaking of Samson's strength, you mentioned the weight room. Throw us some numbers. What do we got going on?
We haven't maxed out in a while, but I'm pretty dang good at bench. I think I could probably maybe hit a little bit above 405. I want to say.
We're talking. Let's go.
Squat wise, we have a max down squat, but I think I'm up in the mid 500s, like 550 maybe. If I can try. We don't max out a lot, but we do a lot of just really good just quick lifts, just for movement. Not really. We're not building for power strength, but we're building for explosiveness.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's actually rumor has it that you are quote unquote the best bench presser on the team. Can you confirm or deny that rumor?
Yeah, we did a little competition for one of the days. I think there's 225 on there, and I think I got the highest reps of 225. I want to say I got 37 reps or something like that. So I'm almost in that 40 range right now. But yeah, my chest genetics have done me very well.
Well, that would put you top of the combine. The NFL combine, right?
So I don't know. I don't focus. I'm curious about that. I'll actually look that up after this.
Well, that's a good number. So only going to get better. So, transition a little bit. Quote unquote the off season. Just curious. You guys after the spring game, you kind of guys have some free time. Curious, what did you do with your time after the spring game until fall camp starts? What have you been up to?
Went home. Month of May. Decided to go home. Obviously, I got a little bit homesick, not like crazy, but I wanted to go home, see family, go to the beach, see all my friends. So I'm a big card player. I do enjoy playing a poker game with at the house with a couple of my friends. You know what I mean? So we'll all get together and we'll play till 2 a.m. But it's just a good time because all the buddies are there laughing. We're having a good time. And my mother and my father, we went out, did a bunch of hikes, went out everywhere, saw my family. So I don't get to see them that often because I'm in Michigan and doing football, so just any opportunity I get to see them I'll take it.
Did you take any summer classes, or you've not started class yet?
I've taken a few summer. I took some communications class and like an econ class. Nothing crazy. Just some online classes like that. Keep that credits up.
By the way,
Econ
33 reps. You would have crushed it. That was 2025. So
me and my dad has always talked about being the 40 club. So I hope to be in the 40. But if I make the combine.
Well, so on academics, well, first of all, Dan was an econ major at Michigan undergrad, and then MBA from Ross. So he can answer all your econ questions after the fact. I was a chemical engineer at Michigan. I can't answer any of the econ. Well, I got an MBA, but he's your econ guy if you want to talk about that. I'm just curious. So you mentioned a few classes. I think at Cal Poly, it sounded like you were studying sociology. What are you? Have you declared anything at Michigan, or what are you interested in?
I was not studying sociology. I was planning to, but I ended up switching to the construction management side. I ended up doing construction management while I was there. I loved it because my dad's a construction guy. Obviously, coming here, they don't have construction management. So I was like, and a lot of my credits didn't transfer, which kind of sucked. So I got to do a lot of catch up. So I had to do an easy, I'm just doing communications, something simple, but I hope to minor in business was one of my plans to get something a little more valuable out of it.
Awesome. Yeah. When you think about when your NFL career is over, what are you interested in doing? Again, I think I read that you were at one time wanted to be in the FBI.
That's why I kind of was thinking the sociology route.
Okay.
My old Pop Warner coach was a homicide detective, and he told me kind of some stories about it. And I was always like super interested about that, just kind of being in that field. But after football, obviously, depending on how long I play, with my communications degree, maybe getting like sports commentating or something like that, or just work construction. You know, I got a lot of connections with my father. You know what I mean? So I can kind of get in that route if I need to.
That's awesome. By the way, I know you're a card player. Has anyone annoyingly tried to explain you euchre? Any Michiganders tried to like sit you down and explain euchre and push that on you yet?
I honestly don't know what euchre is, so not yet. So is that like a big Michigan thing? Is euchre?
Yeah, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, I love it, and I'll probably get roasted for this, but there's probably nothing, and I can tell, like looking at people who are being told how to play euchre by someone who is really passionate about telling them how to play euchre, it's one of the more annoying experiences life has to offer.
Okay, I look forward to it when I'm Michigan.
Because one person's just trying to listen, and like 10 people are all trying to explain to the person at the same time. It's one of life's great struggles. But just if someone says, "Do you want to play?" Just say like, maybe. Let me Google it.
I think poker's probably a little bit more common than euchre is now.
Not in Michigan. I mean,
it is a big deal. So, yeah. But all right, we're going to do a 2-minute drill.
Okay.
These are. It takes longer than 2 minutes. The good news is you have all your timeouts left.
Cool.
But Dan and I will go back and forth here. If you weren't a football player, what sport would you be playing?
I would be playing rugby. I was a really big rugby player in California. I had to take a decision before I went to high school to either play rugby or football. And I chose football. And some days I think, what if I chose rugby? So rugby would be my answer there.
Okay.
Other than you, who should fans be on the lookout for in terms of like a breakout newcomer on the team?
Lawrence Tatar, the other transfer offensive lineman. It's his last year. He obviously comes from a D2, but his mentality is crazy. It's his last year. I think Lawrence Tatar is going to have a really good season.
You know, that's really interesting because he's flown below the radar screen. Like everyone knows, okay, Ferris, you know, they know a little bit about his background and how talented he is, you know, at those other schools, but he didn't enroll. Like, you know, he wasn't there for the spring game, you know, so it's like no one's. I've not seen anything in the press really talking about, hey, he's showing out and you know, because I know you're not really you're lifting now, right? You're not really.
Yeah, he was about to graduate from his degree from Ferris, but if he wanted to transfer to Michigan early, he had to transfer to like general studies, and he was studying construction management at Ferris. And he was about to get his construction management degree. So it's like, I'm gonna stay here for a couple more months and just get my degree that I've been working this long for. So
I love that. That's smart. Look, you know, at some point, you know, you football is not forever, so you know. You're going to do something else potentially. So, well, that's great. That's great to hear because I know that, again, I think everyone was pretty excited to see that addition to the offensive line room.
Definitely.
All right. What's your favorite spot to eat in town so far?
Good question. Historical wise, I like Mr. Spots a lot. Mr. Spots is good, and it's really good greasy food. If I really just feel like cheating on my diet, I'm not glad I got it today. Today was my cheat day, so I got me a spot burger and a dozen wings. So that place, and then a place I really like too is Fueled. Really good poke bowls. I go there usually twice a week to get a good quality bowl.
That's down by Whole Foods, right, on Eisenhower?
Yeah, Whole Foods, yeah. Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Dan, bring.
Well, rumor has it that you're the best bench presser, and I think we covered that earlier. Who's number 2?
Really good question. Definitely, I can tell you like fully at the top of my head, Jake Winera is a really good bench presser, one of our centers. The newcomer Trey Williams is a really good bencher too, from Clemson, does a really good job. Chibi, really good one. Benny. Benny's a really good bench presser, like just tons of guys. I couldn't tell you like perfectly, but it's a good mix of the D-line.
Any sneaky any sleepers in there? Like Zavada just goes and puts up like 20.
I'm not in the same lift group as Zavada, but I haven't been in the same lift group as Zavada, but maybe he's stronger than me. So sneaky strength guys. The newcomer Andrew Babaloa Babs, his nickname we call him. He can squat a lot.
Well, he's a big man. Yeah.
So he's long around. Plus he's young too, so he has a lot of time to obviously bulk up, get more weight on. But he's surprisingly really strong.
That's awesome.
So now that we're on this little tangent of weightlifting and metrics, I know fans, amateurs love talking about bench press. But what is the one? I know you guys have scorecards in Schembechler. What is the one event or lift that you offensive linemen say that's the most important?
That's a hard question to say because everyone has like their own thoughts about it. Probably just for me, I forgot what we call it. It's called a Turkish get up. I think it's pretty important. I don't know if everyone else has brought that up, but we start on our back, dumbbell up in the air, and it's a really good just full body workout where it comes to core strength, shoulder strength, leg strength, and you're laying on your back with the dumbbell up. And your goal is to basically stand all the way up with the dumbbell still up in the air and then lay all the way back down. And people do probably like 130-pound dumbbell, but there's some guys like Greg Tarr, a long snapper. He's like 160 for that. It's crazy.
I think Chris Jenkins, in the pro, a former Michigan player in the pros, I think with the Bengals now, I think he had the U of M record at one time. It's like over 200 pounds. I thought it was crazy.
It's great. Yeah, it's a hard workout, and I'm new to it, and I think it's pretty important, and it's just a really good full workout.
Awesome. All right.
Milks per hour is number 2.
What is it? What is
milk per hour? I was thinking that's the second most important KPI.
Yeah, that'd be a great KPI. I definitely do the best on there.
You doing U of M quiz, Dad?
Well, just one last thing on the 2-minute drill.
Oh.
If you're on America's Got Talent, what are you throwing out there as your talent in front of 200 million Americans?
That's hard.
Are you a singer?
I'm not a singer. No, I'm not a singer. I'm not a dancer. I'm a big man. Maybe like a hot dog eating competition. I don't know. Maybe something simple for the O-line.
You know what? That would be fun in the off season to have a Michigan lineman hot dog eating contest.
I probably would not win. There's a lot of really good eaters on the team. I'm not really a quick eater, but there's some good eaters on the team.
Well, it's just that now that you said that, now I'm curious. If we're having a contest and we got to throw a guy out there and we're playing, it's a Big Ten contest. Everyone's got a representative. Who's our competitive eater on the team?
Easy, Lawrence Attar, the newcomer. Oh my gosh, we both get our food at the same time. I'll be like a quarter of the way done. I'll look up. He's done. He's looking at me like just like it, He's like
he started to eye your plate. Say, hey man,
looking at you or looking at what's left on the tray. Yeah.
I don't know. He could be looking at my plate. I definitely cover it up for him. It's my food.
That's awesome. Okay, well we got good to know. All right, now we're gonna end here. We've got a U of M quiz.
Oh gosh,
it's on offensive. It's offensive line related. Okay.
Okay.
And you can ask for hints if you need help. Because you're gonna get 100% on this with our help. I promise.
Okay.
First question is: what trophy is the largest trophy by weight, the heaviest trophy in college football? Again, this is offensive line related.
It's the offensive line trophy, and they say it all the time. The second you ask me, I course I just brain fart the trophy.
If you want, what's the opposite of less?
More? Oh my gosh! Why do you do this to me right now? It's the more something.
And then there's that's it's a person's name.
Yeah.
And then you've heard the brand. There's Eskimo blank. There's a famous.
Maybe our old president's first name was something Biden.
Joe Moore. Okay.
There we go. Joe Moore.
And question number 2. Speaking of this Joe Moore Award, there are only 2 schools that have won it more than once. Name one of those 2 schools. And if you get both, extra credit.
Michigan and Army.
Got one. Michigan is one of the only 2 schools to have won it. Army has not won it twice.
Army won it last year, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
The Army, no? Dang.
It is a school that Michigan has recently played in a bowl game.
Oh, Alabama. Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Michigan and Alabama, the only 2.
Oh, and Army, dude, they always run the ball. I feel like they've won more.
Honestly, when you said that, I looked at it and was like, that actually made a shockingly amount of sense. But yeah.
I was really confident. I was really confident. But
yeah, so we got the Joe Moore Award. Michigan's won it twice. And then the next question is, what's the only school to have ever won the Joe Moore Award in consecutive years?
Michigan.
See? You're nailing it. You're nailing it.
Was it 2021 and 2022?
Yes, I believe that. Oh, no, 22, 23?
I think
I get the years and the season.
I don't think it was a national championship year. I think it was.
That's right.
Because
all right.
I think in 23, Bama won it, and we played them in the Rose Bowl, I think.
Got it.
Yeah.
So now we got so go ahead. These are extra credit. These are going to be tougher, and we're going to give you some hints if you can't.
Hints are permitted.
But these pictures, I promise you, these players' pictures are in Schembechler Hall on a nice wall somewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
So what former U of M offensive lineman, was drafted first overall, making him only one of 4 Wolverines to earn that honor? Or is it
one of only 4 offensive linemen ever get drafted first overall in the history of NFL.
Can I get a year? Can I get the year?
I believe the year was the 2008 draft.
I was going to say Taylor Lewan, but Taylor Lewan was it Taylor Lewan?
He's way before Taylor Lewan, and he's still around the program. He does. He still kind of does some things around the program. You'll see his name.
One to the, I believe, was he drafted number 1 to the Miami Dolphins?
I believe that's correct.
Dolphins.
And the last name is opposite. When you say something is the opposite of short is
long. Is it Jake Long? Is his name Jake Long?
Yeah.
See, you got this. Yeah, Jake Long. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Number 1 overall.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, to know that, yeah.
I don't know. I need to freshen up on my Michigan history. I've only been here for a few months. I gotta catch
Yeah, we got. I mean,
we had a great tattoo sleeve from my recollection. So there could be some correlation there.
And so the last one, and this is really hard. But which U of M lineman, former U of M lineman, entered the NFL Hall of Fame in 2020?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't.
No relation, but there's a relatively recently famous defensive lineman from Michigan who is now playing for the Detroit Lions. Was like rookie of the, like he's.
Oh, it's his dad, isn't it?
No,
no,
same last name.
Same last name, but
not his dad.
Not
really?
his dad.
Not related? Oh, I totally thought they were related. I don't know. It's Hutchinson.
You know what? I bet a lot of people think they are related.
I thought they are. That's what I thought. I see the both. When I walk up, I see all the All Americans. I see both their names. I'm thinking, oh, that must be his dad or something.
His dad is up there. Chris Hutchinson.
I have the face. I have the face of the white guy. Big white guy. I couldn't say the first name. I couldn't tell you.
Steve Hutchinson.
Steve Hutchinson. Okay, there you go. Nice.
All right, you're in good company now. You get a school that knows how to play offensive line, and we're excited to have you, man. I'm glad. I love the story, and I think it's going to be very helpful to have your versatility up and down the line. So good luck this year, and I'm glad the fans got to know a little bit more about you today.
Cool. I appreciate it. This is awesome. Thank you for having me on.
I appreciate it.